Chairman, or Chairman, good to see you. Acting Alliance, good to see you. Thank you.
I welcome you all to our third regular quarterly meeting for the year 2020. You may recall that at our last meeting, held on the 17th of June 2021, we focused mainly on the resumption of the nationwide continuous voter registration. More specifically, we discussed the schedule for the exercise as well as the Commission's proposal for a two-tier online and in-person or physical registration of voters. We also presented to you two technology-driven innovations to facilitate the continuous voter registration exercise in the form of a portal for online registration of voters, as well as the new INEC voter enrollment device, the IVED, for physical registration. Since the resumption of the CVR on 28 June 2021, we have been giving Nigerians weekly updates on the progress of the exercise, which has entered its 11th week today. As of 7 a.m. today, Monday, 6 September 2021, 2,729,819 fresh voters have pre-registered online. Similarly, we have been giving weekly updates of the physical registration in our state and local government offices nationwide, which started on 26 July 2021. So far, 717,947 Nigerians have completed their registration at the designated centers. With the benefit of technology, we have also been providing detailed information on the cumulative distribution of registered voters by age, occupation, gender, and disability on a weekly basis. By doing so, we hope that leaders of political parties will use the information in articulating your manifestos and planning your campaigns to target the concerns of specific categories of citizens. For instance, in terms of age, young Nigerians between the ages of 18 and 34 constitute 65% of new registrants and 72% of completed registrations so far. In terms of occupation, students constitute 32% of the new registrants and 42% of completed registrations, and remain the largest category since the exercise began 11 weeks ago. The latest detailed statistics have all been uploaded to the Commission's website and social media platforms. Hard copies are also included in your folders for this meeting. Today's meeting focuses on the Anambra State governorship election. When the Commission released the timetable and schedule of activities 8 months ago, on 19th January this year, we informed Nigerians that the election will hold on the 6th of November 2021. Today, it is exactly 2 months or 60 days to the election. As you are aware, the Commission devolved the continuous voter registration to the 326 registration areas or wards, in addition to the 21 local government offices and the state office of the Commission. The fiscal exercise was suspended yesterday, that is 60 days to the election, as required by Section 9, subsection 5 of the Electoral Act 2010 as amended. However, the online pre-registration option will continue to be available, but no appointment for completion of registration can be scheduled until after the election. The Commission will use the next few weeks to compile the register of voters for claims and objections, clean up the data, print the PVCs for collection by registrants, and compile the register for each of the 5,720 polling units in the state. I want to assure every newly registered voter in Anambra State, including those who applied for transfer from within and outside the state or for the replacement of damaged or lost PVCs, that their cards will be printed and made available to them for collection before the election. Each political party fielding candidates in the election will be given a copy of the voters' register on 7th October 2021, as published in our timetable and schedule of activities for the election. While working on the register of voters, the Commission has also been continuously innovating on how to strengthen the credibility of voter accreditation and result management during elections in Nigeria. As always, the deployment of appropriate technology is crucial and desirable. The introduction of the machine-readable permanent voters' cards combined with the smart card readers were important innovations. So too is the uploading of polling unit results in real time on election day. The reality is that technology always advances with the passage of time. Consequently, the Commission must keep pace with the ever-changing world of global information and communication technology. We are at one such crossroad at the moment. For some time now, many stakeholders, including leaders of political parties, have called on the Commission to strengthen the voter accreditation process during elections, especially with reference to the use of incident form where the smart card reader fails to authenticate the fingerprints of a voter. Such concern is legitimate, given the fact that the smart card reader successfully verifies any card that belongs to the polling unit for which it is configured, irrespective of who presents it. The apprehension, therefore, is that using the incident form to cover those whose fingerprints are not authenticated by the smart card reader, a voter may be able to use another person's PVC to vote during an election. To address this concern, the Commission attempted to introduce the facial biometric authentication during the accreditation of voters using the Z-Pad tablet to complement the fingerprint process through the card reader before the Edo governorship election in September last year. However, the Commission was not entirely satisfied with the pilot held in the Nasarawa Central State Constituency by-election a month earlier in August 2020. We therefore suspended the idea to enable us to do some more work. Over the last 1 year or so, we reviewed the situation and we think that we have found appropriate technology to address it. The Z-Pad was therefore only used to upload polling unit level results to the IRF portal during elections. The functionality of the Z-Pad has now been integrated into the IVED currently used for voter registration. On election day, the same device will be used for bimodal voter accreditation as the bimodal voter accreditation system, BVAS, for fingerprint identification during accreditation, and where it fails, for facial authentication. We believe that this multi-layer process will eliminate the process of voting by identity theft using another person's PVC. Where the voter fails the fingerprint and facial authentication, he or she will not be allowed to vote. In other words, going forward, no electronic authentication, no voting. We are convinced that the new machine is robust enough to further guarantee the credibility of voter authentication and transparent management of election results during elections. Accordingly, the Commission intends to carry out a pilot exercise using the new device in Delta State during the Isoko South 1 State Constituency by-election holding this weekend, Saturday, 11th September 2021. The biometric voter accreditation system will now perform the functions of both the smart card reader and the Z-pad in the by-election. Thereafter, it will be deployed to the Anambra state governorship election in November. There will be a presentation on the new device and a practical demonstration of its functions to chairmen and leaders of political parties at this meeting. I cannot conclude my remarks without touching on the issue of litigation, particularly the conflicting orders emanating from courts of coordinate jurisdiction. I am aware that some of the cases are still in court and therefore sub judice. I must say that some of the decided cases are making our work difficult, and we have been crying out loud for a long time. In particular, some pre-election litigations relating to the nomination of candidates for elections were not determined until after the elections. Consequently, in some instances, political parties were declared winners without candidates to immediately receive the certificates of return on account of protracted and conflicting litigations where courts, rather than votes, determined winners of election. This situation is compounded by cases on leadership of political parties, therefore making the exercise of our regulatory responsibilities difficult. It appears that in a number of electoral cases in Nigeria today, the settled law is now unsettled, and the time-honored principle of stare decisis does not seem to matter any longer. What is most disconcerting for us is that the more INEC strives to improve the credibility and transparency of our electoral process, the more extraneous obstacles are put in our way through litigations. However, the Commission appreciates the recent statement by His Lordship, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, as well as the strongly worded concern by the Nigerian Bar Association. We will work with both the bar and the bench to defend the electoral process in the best interest of our democracy. By the same token, chairmen and leaders of political parties have a role to play. I want to remind you that INEC is both an umpire and a regulator. The Commission is an umpire in dealing even-handedly with political parties collectively. But when it comes to the management of intra-party affairs, INEC is a regulator, and we will play our role as a regulator decisively going forward. On this note, let me once again welcome the chairman and party leaders to this consultative meeting. As always, we look forward to a robust discussion. Thank you and God bless.